So, welcome everybody. So, thank you again for joining our free online lesson for today. So, I hope you guys can hear me. Is it? Right. So, I will proceed uh, with today topics. Right. So, apa yang kita akan buat hari ini adalah kita nak buat sedikit family mold design, which is the features dekat dalam Inventor tooling lah. Right. Right. So, I proceed to my next slide. Right. So, basically for the mold design, right. So apa yang kita akan buat hari ni adalah kita nak create multiple parts lah, which is called as family mold design. So first thing is kita nak masukkan a few plastic part dekat dalam ni, right? So not only one plastic part, tapi plastic part yang lain semua kita nak includekan sekali dekat dalam mold base ni, right? So macam you tengok dekat gambar ni, right? At the right side here, so we have the two parts, which is the cover of the face and the back of the mobile phone, right? So then we nak create dia punya core and cavity, right? So we will generate dia punya core and cavity. Then we want to create a duplicate. So not only we masukkan few multiple parts dekat dalam ni, we also nak create multiple copies of the plastic part ni, yang mana kita dah generate as core and cavity. Right, so the reason why we want to do this, of course, kalau you tengok dalam plastic industries, of course, usually orang akan increasekan dia punya production by creating multiple parts dekat dalam mold design. Right. So once kita dah create duplicate, then we want to apply the gate and runner, right, which is the parts where the mold, the plastic mold to flow inside our core and cavity. Right. So next we'll be creating the mold base. So selepas dah siap, so this will be our mold base. Kita akan buat simple sajalah. Right. So usually kita akan include sekali the spring brush and so on. Next thing is kita nak review part by parts yang dah di-create dekat dalam mold base kita, right? So let's say we want to edit the core and cavity here, right? So we can go inside and open the part file, right? So let's say we want to send the cavity only to the manufacturer, right? So kita akan tengoklah dekat mana location yang dia akan save this type of part file ni. So let me share my Inventor. Right, so basically this is the parts that I want to include inside of our mold base. Right, this one and this one. So we have two plastic part here. Right, so I will close this one first. Right, so untuk nak start with our mold design, so make sure first thing is we must make sure our project for the content center library completed lah, right? So usually waktu you install the Inventor, so content center dia for the mold design not actually complete lah, right? So quite simple saja, right? So let's say you nak masukkan dari vendor yang lain ataupun mold design yang lain masuk ke dalam dekat dalam Inventor library, so you boleh pergi dekat sini. So this will be the location where the content center is placed. So untuk nak download dia, so let me share back, right? So let me share back my my slide, right? So this is the link yang you boleh pakai untuk nak download lah the mold library, right? So you boleh click this one, right? So then dia akan show this, right? So this is the page yang you boleh guna untuk nak downloadkan this part, right? So if you scroll down kat bawah sekali, right? So dekat sini lah location untuk you nak download lah you punya mold design tu, right? So we have the Imperial Metric and Mesberg, right? So yang ini saya download dan saya copy dan saya paste dia ataupun extract dia dekat file tadi, right? So saya paste dekat sini. So kita ada Inventor mold imperial. So we have the Inventor mold matrix and mold measurable, right? So just download and paste dekat sini. Then you have the complete set of mold library yang you boleh. So let's go back to the Inventor, right? So make sure this one is selected. So after you include inside the location of library, right? And press OK and save if it asks, right? So untuk start create kita punya own mold, right? So we can go to new, right? So we can go to English US if you want. So you can drop down. So we have the mold design folder over here, which we can select untuk nak masukkan lah. Untuk kita nak create kita punya SMD for the mold design. But in case you want other standards, so you can go to English as well. So we have the mold design under SMD. Right, so if you want for the matrix, you can go to matrix, and we have the mold design for DIN, and also mold design for millimeter. So I will choose this one. So I will start with creating the mold base assembly. Right, so dia akan minta untuk isi nama lah dekat sini. Alright, so saya akan name this one as family mold. So once kita dah masuk dekat sini, right now I can select plastic part untuk nak includekan sekali two plastic part yang kita dah yang saya dah tunjuk tadi lah. Right, so just pick this plastic part and select the IPT parts yang you akan include masuk dekat dalam the mold layout this one. So I will start with mobile top, right, and it will show the preview. So I can just click anywhere and it will generate this plastic part. Right now, once kita dah masukkan punya plastic part, make sure the orientation is correct, which is the Z-axis should be menghadap ke arah atas lah. So for this case, this one is should be correct already. But in case if you want to adjust the orientation, so you can click over here and adjust the orientation somewhere around here. So let's say you want to rotate here, right? You can do that over here lah. Right, for this case, let me reset back. This is correct already, so I will cancel this one. Right now, I want to include another plastic parts, which is the mobile bottom here. Right, this time dia akan allow me untuk nak create at any location that I want. So I will click over here. Right, so same again, it will generate over here. And this time I want my orientation, this face is on the downward position. So I want to adjust my orientation. Right, in this case, I select these plastic parts and I want to select, let's say based on this one, right, so based on this face, and then I want to flip it, right, so select sebelah sini, right, so this is the one, this is the orientation that I want lah. So make sure you adjust your orientation correctly. Right, so based on Z axis this one. Right, so we can see even though kita dah masukkan sebelah ni, tetapi dia punya position not actually satisfy lah. Right, so not actually correct. So I can go over here again, but this time select the adjust position. So right now I want to adjust the position and reference to this one, the first one that I enter this one. So the thing is, select this plastic part, and then I will select the face that I want to reference over there. So I will choose this bottom face and select the plastic part that I want to reference with. So this will be the one, and this will be the face. So right now, it orientation correctly. However, I still need to adjust this one correctly. For this case, so let me adjust. This one will be 0, and the offset, let's say I want it to be 120, right? And we have adjust our orientation and position correctly. So next thing is we need to select the material, which is the plastic material that we will use for these two parts over here. Right, so to do that, we can go into the select material over here. and we can select the plastic material. So first thing is select the manufacturing first lah. So I will use the Subic US, and the trade name will be Cycloid. Right, so let's say this is the one I want. So oops, so let me, right, so since I select earlier, so it should be saved over here lah. Right, so no problem. Right, so we check back on our model tree. So we have two of our plastic part, and we have the material selected for Cycloid, for Subic innovative plastic. So next thing is we want to generate its core and cavity. Right, so core and cavity, which is kita nak create dia punya core dan juga dia punya cavity lah, to both sides. So the up one will be the cavity and the bottom one will be the core. So to do that, we can just simply select the core and cavity, select which plastic part that you nak select lah. Right, so for this case, I will choose the mobile tab first. And this one, it will open the new tabs, which is the core and cavity. So right now we can use this one to generate both the core and also the cavity. So to do that, we need three types of things, which is the workpiece, so the patching for the patching surface, and also for the run-off surface. So basically apa yang kita dah buat sebelum generate core and cavity adalah kita nak create two part over here. So let's say this will be my workpiece, right? So kita akan pakai patching untuk nak divide this into two parts lah, right? So the up one will be the cavity, and the below one will be the core, right? So this is that we want to create. Let me, right, so let me start by defining the workpiece setting. So this will be our raw material for the core and cavity lah. Right, so first kali adjust the size of your raw material. So for the X one, we'll enter as 100, and the Z one will be let's say 60, right? So before we divide this one, we have to patch this one into two part lah, right? So to do that, we can use the patching surface first untuk nak patch bahagian dalam, and then we have the run-off surface untuk nak patch bahagian luar, right? I'll start with patching surface first. Right now, I can just simply select this one and select one by one, or much easier, I can just simply select auto detect, and it will automatically calculate everything. And as you can see over here, they automatically letak kat atas. So let's say I want everything to be put on the bottom, so I can just simply click all lower here. So sekarang semua berada dekat dalam bahagian bawah ni. Right. So I suppose should be able to press OK, but let me do that one again. Right, bottom one, right. And I generate my the inside patching over here. And same with the outside patching, I will use the run-off surface and auto detect, and it will automatically detect the surface. So right now, kita dah divide these two into two parts. So the up one and the bottom one. So all that thing left is to generate its core and cavity. Right, so just click over here and use the preview, and it will generate the core, the up one here, the cavity for the green one, and the core for the blue one. Right. So sekarang ni kita dah create lah dia punya core and cavity. So I will click finish so that I can create the other one for the mobile bottom one. right? So with the same setup, so core and cavity, stem select for the bottom, right? So again, I will enter the same value over here, the 160, right? Again, patching the surface, and generate the core and cavity. Right, so we have both sides. Right. So finish. We now have two parts which has its own core and cavity. So right now, what I want to do next is I want to duplicate this one, right? So inside of mold base, saya nak ada multiple parts lah, supaya dapat increase productivity lah. So for that, untuk nak create duplicate, so I can simply use the pattern one, right? So similar with other Inventor tooling, Inventor tools yang dekat dalam sketching 3D model. So dekat dalam mold layout also have its own pattern lah, right? So this one I want to create duplicate for this one, right? So X direction, Y direction for X. So let me set back to 1. I want to select for the Y direction, right? And I can give the distance over here, right? Let's say 180. Now, if you see over here, dia akan copy sebiji lah dia punya shape dia. But however, let's say saya nak dia punya orientation dia lain. So let's say saya nak almost like a mirror. So from this into here, right? So I can use the pattern type over here and select the X balance. So apa yang dia akan buat, so dia akan orientate dia, right? Bertentangan lah kat sini. Seolah-olah macam ada mirror kat depan ni. Right. So next thing is, let's say saya nak move pula dia punya position dia, right? So for that I can use the variable, right? So for the variable dia akan select the original position lah, right? So before kita duplicate kan dia, right? So let's say we want to bring this setting into the variable, so make sure to click on the inherit from the last pattern over here. Right. Then we can offset this one. So let's say -60. Same with this one as well. Right. So now kita dah duplicate dah this part into 2. Right. So let's do the same with this one. So pattern again. Right. So pasti part. Right. So Y direction to variable again inherit. Let's move simplification. Right. So kita dah create dah. Right. So multiple parts kat sini. So right now kita dah create dah multiple core and cavity. So the next thing is kita nak generate pula dia punya gate location, di runner, right? Supaya plastic mold boleh masuklah dekat dalam core and cavity ni. Right. So to do that, I can start by selecting the gate location untuk nak create dia punya location dia. Right. So right now, if I go back over here, so you can see the position. Right. So select the plastic part first, of course. And I can select which is the position that I want untuk dia punya injection molding masuklah kat dalam ni. Right. So I can select manually or I can use suggest. So suggest I can select which is how many gate location that I want, and then I can use the start and it will calculate the best location untuk letak kat sini lah. But for this case, I nak letak manually lah. Right. So let's say I letak this location, but since let's say I have another one over here which is the same duplicate, so saya nak dia create at the same location over here at this one. So to do that, make sure to allow this copy to AutoCAD chapter. Right. So if I unselect this one, I try to go over here, you can see there's a yellow X mark over here. So this one dia tak keluar. So let's say saya copy to all pocket, I put over here, the bottom one should shown as well, right? So I hope you can see that. Right. So let's say this one I nak letak dekat kawasan sini. Right. So I just simply select over here, and I can readjust the position over here. Let's say 0.9, so you can see this one move. So let me adjust. So let's say 0.5. The location will be 0.9, 0.09. So this one will be applying as well. Apply. We have that one done, and saya nak create like another one which is over here. So gate location, select this plastic part. And this time I want it to be okay. So I forgot to orientate this one. So let me change first. Let me go back to my pattern. I just simply edit this one also. Okay, so I believe I cannot edit this one. So let me delete and redo. Again, pattern. This one. So okay. Variable. I forgot to put a distance over here. Variable inherit. Right, be okay already. And reassign my gate location. This one I want it to be 0.5. This one 0.04. Done. So that I can create lah. So you can see over here. So the gate gate location already create, tetapi gate belum create lah. So before we create the gate itself, we need to create the runner first lah. Right. So to do that, so we need to create sketch first. So the runner will be created on the sketch. So I can go over here. Right. So drop down. I can select manual sketch if I want, but for this case, I want it to be much faster. So I can just simply use the auto runner sketch. Right. And then select which is the position that I want, and it will show the runner sketch over here. Right. So kat sini saya boleh adjust the location if I want, but for this case, I will just leave it as default and just simply edit it from here. Right. So we have 4 gates over here, 4 gate location. So I nak dia dapat masuk ke empat location tu. So I will change the balance into page start. Right. Page start. I want this one to connect over here and this one connect over here. Right. For that, I will adjust the value. So let's say 40. Right. So 40 is actually still quite far. Right. Right. So compared to this one, let me be okay. This one is 27, and hit okay. Right. So now that we have created, so dia akan bawa kita masuk ke sketch. Right. So let's say kita nak buat edit and so on dekat sini, but for this case I'm fine with it. So I just finish my sketch and return back to to my mold assembly design. So next one, I can just simply use my runner and select the sketch that I want. So if you see over here, there I can create the coleslaw at the head over there based on which type that we select. So for this case, no worries. So let's say you set up, you still boleh adjust the punya coleslaw position from here lah. Right. So I will assign both of these. Right. So this one should be N. Yes. This one bigger. This one also 6. And I will attribute to the next one as well. So this one, this one, this one, this one. But this one saya nak punya coleslaw more shorter, and saya nak bagi diameter more smaller. So this one will be 4. So this one 4. Okay. Apply that one. So dia dah generate dia punya hole kat situ. Right. So you akan nampak yang mana mold tu akan lalu dan masuk ke dalam kita punya mold, kita punya code and cavity lah. Right. So before that, if you see over here, dia masih belum connect. So kita kena generate dia punya gate pula lah. Right. So gate location dah ada. Just simply select the gate and select which the location that we want lah. Right. For this case, saya nak pilih for the tunnel. So it will connect from this one into this run over here. So let me edit the orientation. So right. So again, I want to copy to the other side as well. Apply. Right. And I want to create on this one as well. Sekarang dia dah generate dah tunnel yang mana dia akan masuk from here into this hole over here. So sekarang ni tak begitu nampak. But let's say if I go to view, so let me change my view. Right. And let's say I do some section over here. So you can see there's a tunnel that connect from the runner into our core and cavity over here. Right. So that one is done. So the last thing is that we need to do is just simply create the mold base. Right. So select the mold base. Again, you need to have the library yang saya explain earlier untuk you select vendor lah. Otherwise, you only available untuk select footable SE saja. Right. So kalau you nak, make sure you masukkan, you download the library dan paste lah masuk ke dalam Inventor ni lah, configure center library tu. Right. So this one I can drop down and select which type of vendor that I want. Right. So kita akan dapat lebih banyak pilihan lah. Right. So untuk nak create kita punya mold base over here. Right. Really will not crash on me. Yeah, I believe it's crashed. Okay, now so fine already. Alright, so right, so kat sini kita boleh select vendor yang kita nak. For that, I will choose, let's say DME, and I want the E one. Right. So dia akan keluar kat sini, and then I will choose the placement lah. Right, so you can see over here, the placement depend on this blue line over here, and the red one here represent our core and cavity. Right, so to do that, I can select which is the placement that I want. So this one, and then I can show over here. Right, so let's say I place the placement over here. So you can see it start to move. Right, so the most common place is at the center over here lah. Right, and then we can also select the component that we want. So let's say we want to do some edit. So let's say we not the some of the component to be much smaller or bigger, so we can select and edit it from here, right? So if you can see over here, some of these are gray, right? So which means we cannot simply control the size, but we can still use customize, right? So click to customize, then we have the overall setting available, right? But for that, I can just simply leave it as default and okay. Then it will generate my mold base. So let's do it sometimes. All right, so our mold base is complete. Right. So next thing is maybe you want to see which is the part location kat mana you nak ambil. So let's say you just nak simply nak view for the core only. So for that you can go to the mold base. You can see the part over here that already created, right? So untuk nak tengok dia punya individual part file, you can go to assembly file and then you can select right over here lah. Right. So let's say you nak tengok for the let's say for the core one, right? So you can right click and open this one, and it will open the individual part file. So let's say you nak buat some edits or you nak send this part file bagi you punya manufacturer, right? So you can find over here. Right. So this one also created that very own representation. So let's say we have the multiple type of position over here, so they akan show over here lah. So which is the open position, right? So you don't have to do it again lah. So we have the injection position, we have the close position. So let's say we just simply nak drag this one, right? So let's say I pick for free drag, and I can just simply drag this one lah, open, right? Probably I cannot do that here because I haven't saved it. So let me save this one first. Right. So let me move back to master first. Save. So once we save, they akan save as each of individual file into a new folder. So sekali kita akan masuk dan tengoklah the location folder tu. Right. So if I go back to free drag, should able to move. Right. So for some reason I still cannot, but you should able to move if you click the free drag over here. So right now, so let's open the file over here. So let me share my screen. Right. So you can go back to your you can go back to your project file, right? And then you can see the part file that you created earlier, right? So dia akan create part punya part one by one kat sini. Yang mana you boleh open this one and you can see lah, or you can send this part file into your manufacturer lah, right? So this is the core and cavity, right? So for the mold base should be over here lah, mold base, right? So dia ada dekat sini. So you boleh open this one. So kalau you nak tengok lah, right? So that is all yang saya nak share for the mold base ataupun mold family mold design for today. So kalau ada apa-apa question, just type in saja dekat chat tersebut. So I will try to get back to you lah. Right? So, kalau ada apa-apa question, just tanya saja dekat dalam ruangan chat tu. Right. So sambil-sambil itu saya juga nak run satu poll lah, just for you guys for the review. Right. So just bagilah you punya pendapat mengenai this online lesson. Right. So thank you for voting. I will let this poll to run another 5 seconds. Right. So thank you everyone for vote and for supporting us. So that is all yang saya nak share. So I believe no more question for you guys. Right. So for that, I end my session for today. So I hope you see you guys again on our next free online lesson. So thank you very much. Bye bye.